What's up, guys? Justin, Flint Creek Transport. Another beautiful day. Much better than yesterday. Much better than having a truck accident. And I'm gonna touch more on that later here. But I wanted to show you, we are putting in the electric line and the water line and all that good stuff. The whole way from the road, way out there, it's over 1,000 feet. And it runs way in the back. We actually are using this little truck to haul. He's got a smaller excavator, so it's a little hard to reach up into the big dump truck. So they're, and by the way, I'm just thinking, we don't even have the big dump truck anymore. But they were using this all along because you didn't have to reach up into the big dump truck. Well, that's kind of our older truck, so that's why they're using that one. The truck I gotta run, this little T300. Who does that? All right, time for some fuel. The pump does time out if I don't get it in there fast enough. So, pretty simple. Okay, identify my identified driver. I don't even know what my code is because I don't get fuel very often. There we go. You guys can't see this. All right, Justin. Okay. Identify unit 146. Okay. Enter mileage, and I took a picture so I didn't have to remember. 396. Done. Pump kicks on. I'm good to go. This fuel system, Link 2 pump, they've been great to work with. It's fairly simple. You can see, enter my ID, enter the truck number, enter the mileage, and the pump kicks on. If you are getting fuel a lot, we do provide our drivers with key tags. I think it's a tag and they just hold it up there and it will identify them. That way they don't have to remember their code. Well, she's full. So this truck's probably gonna sit a lot this winter. So yeah, that's why I probably shouldn't have filled it. Oh well. When I get done fueling, hit that button, we're done. 35.9 gallon. Time to go get loaded. What's funny is I catch myself when I hop in this truck, I reach over and I grab for the shifter right before I start it, and there's nothing there because this one's an automatic. That was tight. I'll show you. You get this box down. I should have put Vaseline on the doors. Try to get in there. I had to watch the top and I had to watch the side. Literally, the door was resting against that, against those boards. It is super tight. Bye-bye, truck. You know what's pretty amazing is when we put this driveway in, a lot of this had like 2 foot of crusher run, big crusher run, and it is compacted so much. I gotta just run downtown. These guys are out working. I said I'll get them lunch. Check it out. You know, I found one good thing that a Chevy tailgate is good for. Chevy tailgates. Can't even believe I got it open. I don't know if you guys remember me saying about the EB trailer that we have to replace the upper coupler or the fifth wheel plate. We took that down to the welding shop, fabrication shop, and I just stopping in right now to get an update on that trailer. Another thing I want to add, guys, is I am not going to be able to tell you, or these videos are not necessarily how-to videos, because I'm not the guy welding. I'm not the guy doing all these things. So this is more just a broad overview of kind of what is happening in our company. You know, there's, replacing visors, so many other things, but I get a lot of different things that I have to get done in a day, and I meet and see a lot of different people. So it's hard for me to just sit at a project for like 3 hours or 4 hours and get, say replace a visor or whatever it is. So like I said, not necessarily how-to videos, but kind of an overall view and kind of why we do what we do. Hopefully this helps. Here it is, guys. The fifth wheel plate laying on the ground. You can see under here is where it went and how it mounted to the side rail. So they're actually going to build one here. Here's the steel for it. It's going to be a little bit thicker. He's going to custom build it. Some steel over there, put it under there. So this trailer, we did not have to pull the floor on it. Most trailers, you got to slide the floor out, and I'll show you here in the back. See if these doors are open. So most trailers, you got to slide each of these slats out to replace the upper coupler. So each slat's got to come out. And I'll go up here, show you up front what it looks like. A little bit of cabbage left over in here. So this is the front. This slope plate would usually go right in here just to keep material from falling down in there. So this trailer otherwise, I mean, it's a pretty solid trailer. Obviously the guy, whoever had it before us, did not haul anything too big, because a lot of times what happens, you'll see dents in these walls, or like say they haul firewood, or they haul, something that's bigger chunks. If they're hauling mulch, a lot of times there's chunks of wood in there and it will punch through. But these sidewalls are very nice condition. He is gonna get some pictures and some video of him putting this together. This is actually not at our shop. This is at a guy a mile or two down the road. And, he's going to be putting everything together, fabricating it, and going to be getting some pictures, and I'll try to explain to you a little bit of what he's doing. Now I got to run a loadout of apples, believe it or not, in this belt trailer. And I know I haven't talked a lot about our belt trailers. This is a 2021 Western belt trailer. They're built in Idaho. So he's got a load of apples on. We're going to go down and unload it. Going to be running a Kenworth 2008 with a Cummins. This is a 600 Cummins 18 speed. So all I got to do is I got to go take this rig down and get started unloading, possibly unload the whole thing. Just helping a driver out. He had to run home quick, and we're gonna start getting this thing unloaded. I got to get turned around first. As I'm going out the driveway here, I just tell you a little bit more about this truck. This truck is one that we ordered back in 2007. This was when they were just putting the emission motors in these trucks, and they were saying this is going to be the wave of the future, and these are the all new motors, on and on and on. And we had a lot of issues with this truck. So I think it was rebuilt 2 or 3 times already. Unfortunately, we had to delete it, and so now it's a good run truck. But we did have a lot of issues with it. Ever since we deleted it, it's been a lot less. But unfortunately with the Cummins, they just don't seem to last as long as the Caterpillars. So they only go between 500 and 750,000 miles off of a rebuild. This truck's got about 1.169 on it, and it's got every gauge So like I said, this was ordered, full locking rears. We ordered this truck. A lot of the trucks that we own, we bought used. Some of them we've ordered, but a lot of them, we really didn't get that chance to order them. So, you know, they're not laid out quite as nice. The 2019s that we got, we ordered those, and they have the full gauge package. Just makes the dash look a lot nicer when it's spread out like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna do some trucking. I gotta pull out on the road. It's always the thing I hate about at new places. I've never been to this place before, and I went and backed in, or sorry, I pulled in the wrong way. I'm supposed to back in. Sorry, you're supposed to go around the building. So I gotta back up 100 feet or 200 feet. Keep my skills sharp for sure. So this unload process takes about an hour. So I'm gonna be sitting here, actually a little more than an hour. I'm gonna be sitting here for about a little over an hour with the truck idling, just idling with the PTO on. So this is where having emission trucks, it's not cool. So I don't like it. That's why this one's deleted. Had to. The way this works is I have a control valve right here. I can lift that gate up and down, and that back gate goes up and down, and then there's flaps on this belt and it rolls. So right now I don't even have to run the belt. It just will fill the pretty much fill the hopper right there, or that crate right there. So you can see this is on a drive unit back here, and this whole belt just will, it's a continuous belt. One of the things I always do when I'm unloading is I run the engine fan on the tractor, just as kind of a peace of mind. You never know, something were to happen. Sometimes if the thermostat or something, or the valve in there doesn't actuate, it will heat up your engine, cause problems. So whenever I have the PTO running long periods of time, I'll just kick the fan on manual mode. Alrighty guys, it gives you a little look at what a load of apples looks like when you're unloading, and the way the belt trailer works. So on to the next thing. So as you know, our dump truck was in a bad accident, and I'm going to post a little footage from the dash cam. And that's right, just like that, the video stopped. Unfortunately, we tried to pull all the footage off that camera, and it would go right to just before the tire blew, and then it would stop. So for a while, I wasn't sure if we're gonna be able to get the footage or not. So we put a request into Samsara, and they told us that it was because when the truck hit on impact, it took, I guess, on the driver's side is where the breaker panel is, and all the power got cut. So they had to, I don't know how whatever they did, but they actually got the footage, and I just received it. It's not going to be able to be stuck in this video, but in the next video I'm hoping to release Friday. Stay tuned, and I'll have that dash cam footage. I'll also talk a little bit more about the dump truck. I've been trying to get a little more information on it. I'll fill you guys in on that video about that dump truck. My surprise when I saw that video, first dash cam video, I'm like, I'm paying so much a month, and this is all I get. You know, it doesn't matter if it got demolished on impact. They still better have footage of when the accident happened. So like I said, we finally got that footage, and I'll have that in the video on Friday. Stay tuned, hit that little notification bell, and that will help you as well get notified when I release a video. And also, guys, check out the merch store. Click over to About. There's a link there for Flint Creek gear. And I am running a little special. So we just got our Flint Creek calendars in. And let me see if I have a calendar here. I'll give you a little look at what they look like. So those calendars have just shots of the trucks in, and here is the calendar. One of the first pictures talks a little bit about our company in the back. First 50 purchases of any hoodie, vest, or jacket, I'm gonna be sending one of those calendars with for free. So no charge on the calendars. And right now, I don't have a price on them. So I'm just releasing 50 calendars. We're giving a lot out to our customers. We're mailing them out to our customers and giving them out to employees and things like that. So I'm gonna release 50 for the next, if you guys wanna purchase a hoodie or whatever, it'll come with for free. You're not able to purchase any calendars separately. Hopefully I should have more calendars available. I'll keep you guys posted. And when I get more merch in, I'm gonna be getting some for myself, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. There's some pretty cool stuff. So click on that link to the store and check it out. Lots of good stuff on there. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell and like the video. Peace out.